quite a while. So obviously we appreciate all the things that have gotten done through your efforts. And as some of you have heard me say this more than once, before I came here, I remember people telling me, oh, you'll love Kosovo. It's the one country that really likes Americans, and you will like being there. And I certainly have found that out, because even right after we came here, we realized how much Kosovars really like Americans. And amongst ourselves sometimes we've talked, now is the reason we were able to accomplish so much, is the reason because we're Americans and supported by the U.S. government? And I think that might have had something to do with our success. The fact that Americans get along extremely well with Kosovars, and we certainly have appreciated all of the support we've gotten from you. And I think sometimes you probably felt that we were a pain in the neck, a thorn in the side, whatever. But for the most part, we've gotten along quite well. Even when things get tough, we've talked them over, we've worked together to keep things moving forward. We've met various challenges together. We've started initiatives, we've finished initiatives, and none of our team could have done anything without you really pushing. And so we really appreciate all of the genuine support and friendship we've had from all of you at CAP and now KEDS. Which brings me then to the third constituent, which is our staff. And I'd like to spend a little time talking about our local staff. And when we started here, 4 of us came and we said, okay, we're here to help out CAP, you know, and we found out pretty quick, geez, we can't do that by ourselves. So we started bringing in local staff. And some of you are still here from basically day one. Then we said, well, 4 of us isn't enough. I mean, we can barely get started with 4. So we kept adding staff, adding staff, adding staff. And I think all of you can see here the significant amount of staff that we have. And the only way that we've been able to do things, again, us advisors, is working through our local staff to make sure that things get done properly. Things get done in the proper context. We're always talking to our local staff here, well, does this make sense here in Prishtina, or does this make sense in Kosovo? If we're sending a message to customers, is what we're saying the right message, or is that too Americanized? And we always have Our local staff here has been able to keep us internationals on the straight and narrow, so we actually get things done. And we're very happy that that KEDS has recognized the value of a lot of our local staff and brought them in positions within KEDS, and we appreciate that. Now, you know, our local staff works pretty hard, but I've been kind of keeping track of a few little statistics. Even though, you know, our staff has had time to do work, and they all work hard, but for some reason, 6 of them have had time to go out and find a husband or a wife and get married. One of them actually started within a few months, found a husband, and then got married. So, we've had 6 marriages. Now, also, we have this very young, vibrant local staff. We've actually had 13 children to this local staff. Well, the local and international staff. Since we've been here. And as you can see, we have 4 on the way. So, apparently they found time not only to do their work, but go out and find husbands, wives, get married, have children, take care of children, etc. And so we really appreciate that. And so you've all changed significantly since we first started. And you have, in many cases, started new families and things, but we consider the Tetra Tech group here as a family. And I think we've always been able to socialize well together and really become more of a family. And it's certainly made it easier for us to accomplish a lot of our work as with all the support we get. And so we appreciate that as well. And so with that, I'd like to say thank you to everyone, our supporters, our counterparts, our staff, and thank you very much for a very successful project. I don't want to stand up here and talk about, well, we did this and that and that, but I think it's well documented that Keck is much better off now than it was 6.5 years.
Yeah, 24/0.
24/0. That's true. That's true. Virtually no load shedding in a long time. Yes. And so progress has been made, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for helping to make that possible. And I appreciate all your support. Thank you very much.
Tom said a few thank yous there, but I think he made quite a mission. And that was himself. And so I'd like to thank Tom for all his hard work and commitment over the last 6.5 years. He and I are the remnants of the expat team that first came here. And as you know, Tom has always had a smile on his face in the last 6.5 years, always been optimistic. I know he gets frustrated when talking about tariffs from time to time. Ultimately, he's always had a very upbeat approach, and that really has been beneficial to me and to all the team. So thank you, Tom. He's going to get a well-deserved break back in Dallas. He's got a birthday coming up as well. I know you're looking forward to spending it with your family, so that's great. And thank you again for all your hard work. The day Tom and I met was back in January 2007, and that evening we went as a team up to a restaurant which actually no longer exists. It's called the Malfi, up on Dragedanga. And I remember that evening looking down on Prishtina, and there was a lot of darkness. And what light there was, you could hear the hum of the generators. And I think, although we all acknowledge that there are significant challenges and a lot of things that still need to be done here, we also need to recognize how far things have come. And in the last 6.5 years. I remember sitting in Toscana building on the 2nd floor, which didn't have a generator, sitting by candlelight, waiting for the battery of my computer to wind down before going home. But that was kind of where we were in 2007. And you know, we've come a long way, and we've come a long way together. And when I say together, obviously it means all the constituents that Tom said, with Keck, and with obviously USAID and US government support throughout that period. I know Tom didn't want to get into specifics about how far we actually have come, but I thought I'd take the opportunity, because we don't really get the opportunity always to see really what's been achieved in the last 6.5 years. So I remember in 2007 going to the then Olympic HQ and sitting around a big table with about 25 other people. The deputy SRSG, Stephen Shook, was there. And it was basically discussing how they were going to open the new mine, which was already about 2 years behind schedule. The mines, existing mines, were depleting, and things were in pretty dire strait. So fast forward another year or so, and Keck opened Sivnitsa mine as an interim solution. They got loans from the government to refurbish all the main mining equipment, about 160 million euros just for the mines. Contract was signed, implemented, and by 2010, you had basically coal being produced from the new mine. And we look at generation. In 2007, we had 2 A units working. The 2 B units were, by the summer of 2007, crippled because there were cracks in the rotors and they had to be basically cut. So there were about 100 megawatts missing because they were derated. That was missing from the system. Also, there was a risk that they would fail any moment in time. That was the situation that I found out in 2007. And any new rotor would take 30 minutes to production. Fast forward 2 years, the screws were purchased, they were installed in the power plant B. The 5 was reactivated. New transformers were bought for A units. New transformer was bought for B unit. The generator was put in for Kosovo B as well. And now in 2012, generation output is 35% higher than it was in 2006. And it's the highest that it's ever been in Kosovo. Even since the units were commissioned, the B unit was commissioned back in the early 80s. And that was in a year when there were 2 major overhauls. So in 2007, this year, I'm expecting bigger things. But that's kind of, how things have come. And then we look at the distribution and supply business. In 2006, for every 10 euros of energy put on the distribution network, Keck was collecting about 5.1 euros. So all of it was technical, commercial, and billing losses. 2012.
but that doesn't mean we're not starting another year and more exciting adventures in the energy sector. There are two people I think that didn't get recognition here that I think actually recognition. They kept all of us in line and made sure we did everything according to the books and everything else. That's Janelle and Arlen. Thank you both very much. It wasn't an easy job that the two of you had, keeping everybody in line and making sure reports were in on time. People put their invoices in when they were supposed to, but I'm very grateful to both of you for your hard work. You're unsung heroes for what was a very long and very difficult project. There's one other person who was here earlier on who's not here anymore, who I personally have to say thank you to, Tamsin, for keeping me awake and supplying me with coffee at incredible hours of the day and night. Tamsin was another one of these unsung heroes in the whole process. It's been an exciting 2 years. We still have a lot to do, but I believe that this project has set the pace and the agenda for the coming years. I want to thank you all very much, and I look forward to working with you all either still here in Kosovo or in our next adventure.
He wanted to say something to close the affair. So I'll just read it from my family. I'm sorry that I can't be with you for this important event. I would have liked to thank each of you personally and shake your hand. But it's a small world and I may still get to do that someday. Smiley face. I thank Carmen Juka and his team for their cooperation with the TTT and accomplishments in providing 24/7 to strategic consumers and privatisation of KEDS. We thank KEDS management team for their cooperation during this difficult transition and wish them all the best. I also thank each and every one of my teammates for their hard work over the last 6.5 years and their role in KED's outstanding achievements in mine, generation, supply and network. Finally, if it was not for the US government and USAID mission in Kosovo that provided this opportunity for all of us to make Kosovo a better place, this would not have happened. So, a very big thank you goes to the US government and USAID mission. Enjoy your time together and I wish all of you the best. May God bless each and every one of you and your families. Masood.
want to thank the entire team for the incredible contributions that you have made to the future of this country. I have a really easy job because I count on people like all of you to make the development happen. The U.S. taxpayer invests a lot of money in this country, but it's you that makes it happen. So I want to thank each and every one of you for your devotion and your contributions to the future of this wonderful country. And I would like to just thank one other group of people that haven't yet been thanked. Because as a Foreign Service officer, I understand the sacrifices that families make in traveling around the world with your partner who is committed to development. I'm really happy on the local level and on the international level too that you have some work-life balance so that you haven't forgotten about the importance of family. But to the spouses that have had to travel around behind you, I want to make a special thank you to you because I know that you are making sacrifices too. And if your partner who comes to work every day is happy, then they're making development happen, and we are contributing to that also. So to everyone here, I want to thank you very much for everything that you're doing, and we look forward to a bright, energetic.
She's crying. It's hard. Guys work here. They work
So Arben will speak in Albanian language. He has difficulties to find words in English. I will try through translation.
Unë do ta falenderoj misionin e USAID në Kosovë.
I want to thank the USAID mission in Kosovo,
Që na solli këta njerëz të mrekullueshëm,
which brought these great people here.
që pata fatin unë dhe kolegët e mi të punojmë së bashku.
And I was really lucky, myself and my team, to working together with them.
Njerëz që e më kanë bërë shumë të lumtur në shumë momente.
They made me very happy in frequent moments and events during my work.
Janë shumë një grup i madh, edhe jam kam frikë që do t'i përmend nga frika që mos të përmend, do të shkoj emër për emër.
It's a big team, so I'm afraid that if I start mentioning their names, I would forget some of them.
Por unë isha shumë emocionuar gjatë këtyre fjalimeve.
But I was really emotional charged with emotions during these speeches that were held.
Gjatë këtyre fjalimeve ata i bashkë në mesin tonë.
And I realized that I saw all of them, everybody here during these speeches.
Dhe unë s'kam fjalë mbi gjet vetëm falënderimin më të sinqerta.
And I cannot really find any words now for this apart from sincere thanks to all of you.
E kam thënë shumë herë dhe të përsërisë edhe herë këtu.
I've said many times and I want to repeat once again here.
Shumë gjëra blihen,
There are many things that can be bought,
por ju keni fituar respekt këtu tek ne.
but you have gained lots of respect among us
Ai nuk blihet, po ai fitohet.
that cannot be purchased, cannot be bought, but it is gained.
Ju e keni fituar me kulturën, sjelljen tuaj, profesionalizmin ju.
You have acquired that with your culture, with your professionalism, ethics.
Unë dhe ekipi im do të jemi mirënjohës gjatë gjithë jetës.
And I and my team will be always grateful to you for the whole of our lives,
Për atë që keni bërë për vendin tonë,
for all what you
për
have done,
sistemin e rrështimit veçantë.
for all what you have done for our country, for the electrical system.
Gjithë ata njerëz që kanë punuar, një grup, një numër i madh i tyre,
All the crew working here, all the people involved in this project,
kudo që janë, unë ju uroj shëndet.
wherever they are, I wish them good health.
Nëse ju të praneshëm që jeni,
While you present here,
shëndet, suksese,
I wish you a good success and good health.
Zoti ju të poftë ju dhe familjen.
May God bless you and your families.
We are very new here. As you see, each project has a starting and ending point. Unfortunately, we have the chance to catch you through the end of the project. I appreciate your great job you have done till now. It was a great time for me to work with you, guys, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to serve better. We are aware of the problem, the distribution system. We can achieve it, but before closing, I want to especially thank to the U.S. government US Mission, USAID, and Tetra Tech. I believe that if you were not here, the situation will be completely different. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Long there at show. Long there.
Thank you very much.
You have to pull it through, yes.
Please accept for your contribution. Thank you very much. Gracias.
He's downstairs. David. Richie. Music.
The speech is over. I just have one word to say, which is to thank Basilico and their staff for hosting us today, for the excellent food and wine and service, and to all of you for attending today. We have this place until 6:30, so please eat, be merry, and circulate.